A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In today's session, we are going to discuss Mars Narcissism and its effect on the twin flame journey. Or in another word, we could say that how is twin flame ascension journey helping or going to help or supposed to help reduce the Mars narcissism, because this generation that we are living in right now, it's the most narcissistic generation of all times, and if it is not checked right away in the next generation for the coming times, for the future, it could prove to be very dangerous. So what are the spiritual ascensioners supposed to do? If you are a genuine twin flame divine counterpart, you could be either a masculine, you could be either a feminine. If you're a feminine, you're doing spiritual inner work, and if you're a masculine, you're supposed to learn via suffering in the matrix reality. Suffering or having those experiences which teach you what is the real truth and what is the illusion. Alright? For private sessions, personal readings, guidance on dream interpretation, counseling and therapies, please go through the description box first, and once you're sure, then write to me at TheSunamoon@gmail.com. When it comes to twin flame intuitive readings, I prefer not knowing anything from you about your twin flame journey before the reading. But during the reading, we are going to discuss it, and we do this because we need to get the best and most accurate answers. In case of therapies, you have to share with me different facets of your life so that we can heal the wounded inner child, which then leads to a 5D union, and without the 5D union, 3D union is not possible. You can also get my book In the Name of Love, which has 5 channel twin flame stories based on the journey of finding your ultimate soulmate. Connect with me on Instagram at TheSunamoon Goddess, and you can also check out the TheSunamoon vlogs to get interesting content that supports ascension lifestyle. And yes, ascension is a lifestyle. So then, if that is the case, if you're a genuine twin flame counterpart, divine counterpart, you would mostly be interested in channelings or subjects like this or information messages like these, because this is connected to you as well. Now, there is a difference between NPD disorder and narcissism, or you can say vanity or self-loathing. Okay, so NPD is a disorder. Someone could be suffering from that disorder, and in the current reality, we would say psychologists, with all due respect to them and all the studies they do, they have the information of this disorder, how to check this disorder. Even psychologists have given a lot of different statistics. If you go online, you will see different psychologists say different things about narcissism. So NPD disorder is different, but narcissism is different. Now, what is happening in the world right now is the narcissism is becoming mass narcissism. Like in the golden age, it is supposed to be the opposite. It is supposed to be everyone is supposed to live in benevolence. So the extraterrestrial beings who watch over us, especially the benevolent ones, why are they watching over us? Do they really need to? Why do spirit guides help us? Why do masters help us? Why do our gurus help us? And why do even we want to take care of planet Earth? Like a lot of you people, divine feminines, so many of you are nurturers. Divine masculine, so many of you want to be providers for other people, not just my own family. Also, one more thing about spirituality is that if you are learning authentic spirituality, then that will make you become an even more responsible person. If becoming spiritual means that you're only concerned about yourself, your enjoyment, your joy, your fun, your happiness, then you are not practicing authentic spirituality. A lot of people I see, when they become spiritual, they want to leave all responsibilities. Like it happens a lot in the hippie culture. Hippie culture is a very good culture, no doubt about it, because everybody is free. They are on their own, they are discovering themselves. But if you get into a comfort zone, if you reach to a point that, okay, I'm enjoying myself, I'm living in nature, I'm eating organic food, I'm doing good for myself, I am wearing certain type of clothes, I'm hanging out with certain type of partner, or I'm hanging out with certain type of people, some kind of crowd, I'm doing my meditation practice every day, and everything about your life is wonderful. Okay, your Instagram photos, your Facebook photos are perfect, your if anybody anywhere else you share your content, you will always come across as the person who's somehow, you know, despite all the chaos and despite all the problems in the planet, you are somehow living a very comfortable life, a very happy life. Now, we are also not saying that you should ruin your life, or you should destroy your life, or you should be put yourself into bad health or something, or bad company. That's not what we mean. There is always a thin line, as I said. So Mars narcissism, how is it affecting the twin flame journey, is that if most people, if say 80% people on the planet, they become selfish, okay, most of them are selfish, and the remaining 20-30% who are empaths, they are struggling because everybody else is selfish. So if they tell people that you should be selfless, you should think about other people, like what happens in the twin flame journey is very interesting. The feminine is very selfless. Okay, she is so selfless that even if the masculine ill treats her, ignores her, neglects her, does not love her, does not return her all the feelings, she does not complain, she continues to love him. Okay, but when it starts getting difficult for her, when she is blocked, or she is treated as if she doesn't even exist, her feelings don't matter, that's the time she starts doing inner work. Okay, when she starts doing inner work, she realizes that she has been selfless, but she has not really been only selfless. She has been selfless to the point that she does not have self-respect. Okay, so doing the inner work will increase her self-respect. We are not saying that she will stop caring for the divine masculine. She would care for the divine masculine, but she would think, and she would imagine, and she would also pray, and she would also believe that he is also an individual who is born with free will. Okay, if he has his own free will, and the universe is watching out for him, just the way I have been looked after by the universe, and just the way I am healing myself, and from being a person who lacked self-respect, I am now a person who has self-respect, and while having self-respect, I want to be in love with someone. So if the masculine is absent, or does not, he is not around, or he does not respond to her properly, he does not give her the respect she deserves, she is going to stop doing that. She is going to not give him that much energy or give him that much attention, because she will realize by his behavior or by his absenteeism that he is not doing anything that's worthy of her love. Okay, so this is healthy. So basically she loves him, she cares for him, but she is also not spoiling him. She is also not saying, okay, no matter what he does, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Your actions, so her actions, and in her energy also, energetically also, she stops thinking about him the whole day. Like constantly she's thinking about him. She's not going to do that. And if she thinks about him, she's going to ask herself, why is she thinking about him? By thinking about him, which aspect of her gets satisfied, and what exactly is she thinking about him? Because a lot of people, even in their imagination or even in their thoughts, they are either struggling, so they are coping up with the relationship, they are struggling, they are arguing, they are getting negative, they are getting upset. All these things, this is all energetic. So the twin flame journey is designed in such a way so that you get to know that everything is actually energy. So even if mentally you are thinking about somebody in a certain way, that is going to create an energy. If you're too focused on some people, too focused as in you're constantly thinking about them and you're thinking about them negatively, you are creating an energy of negativity. Energy, be it positive or negative, it's energy, right? It will do its work. So from that perspective, narcissism or narcissistic abuse or narcissistic disorder, it also has an energy. It has a energy that disbalances everything. So we want the world to be in such a place that they are in the center, they are in the balance. Not only do they practice self-love, but at the same time they practice unconditional love, or being selfless, or taking care of others. Now let me tell you one thing, that when you are in this twin flame journey, if you are doing, as I keep using this word, genuine twin flamers, if you are a genuine twin flame couple, you would realize it that sooner or later, after practicing self-love, sooner or later God is going to put you on the path, or you are going to have certain realization. You would not be able to keep this to yourself, because you will realize that if you keep all of this growth and happiness and all of this peace and all of this joy only to yourself, it will start rotting within you, it will start decaying within you. Why? Because as an ascensioner, as a star seed, as a light worker, as a twin flame, you are here to contribute towards the planet. And this is something that you don't have to learn from anywhere. This is naturally inbuilt in you. So when you get abused in the narcissistic reality, when you get abused, you are going to find it difficult, because you are not used to being so selfish. You are not like, you're not used to do things in a certain way which not only make you feel like you're puffed up, your ego is completely puffed up, and with that puffed up ego, you're roaming around in the world. Even such egotistical people, even when they do charity, they really are unable to do good for anyone. Why? Because that energy is not the energy of charity. They are doing charity also because it uplifts them, it uplifts their image, their massages their ego. That selfish person inside, you are technically not a selfish person. No human being is born selfish, but they are raised in such a way, they are taught certain things, they are schooled in such a way, they are programmed in such a way that you take care of us. And I'm talking about the victim of narcissistic abuse. So as I keep saying, there are two types of narcissistic kids, or kids who are affected by narcissism. One is the enabled child, the child which gets all the smothering, child gets all the love bombing, child gets all the affection. Every time the parent wants to control the child, they are going to give the child certain things. Either they are going to compliment the child a lot. Okay, so if you are a type of person who feels really good when you get compliments, people tell you you're so beautiful, you're so charming, you're so understanding, you're so this, you're so that, and you're like, oh wow, what beautiful words are coming to my ears, I feel so nice. Your chemistry the chemicals inside you. See, everything is, there is a chemical reaction going in our mind all the time. So when you hear these words of praise, or these words of love, or words of gratitude, you feel very nice. And when the same person or some other person comes and tells you you're so bad, you're so disgusting, or they say something like you're mean, or you're ugly, or you're fat, or you're dumb, or you're dark, or you're fair, or anything, or you're poor, they tell you all this and you feel very bad about it, that how could they say this to me, it really hurts me. So now these are the two things that we need to figure out in the twin flame journey, because they are connected to narcissism and narcissistic abuse, and it will have a deep impact on the twin flame journey, because people who are in narcissistic abuse, there are also levels of narcissism. Those who are enabled, they are going to still get that affection and that attention from the adults around them, but only because the adults like their energy. The adults feel like they are just like me, so they are going to protect those children. Maybe those children became selfish too fast, or maybe those children are puppets of those people. Maybe they see that there's a lot of potential, that these children are going to always be yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am kind of a person, so they like that. However, the other child who is a free bird or a free soul, the victimized child, the victim one, the ignored one, the neglected one, they are also going to be their slave. So don't think both the children are any different. Both of them are going to serve these narcissistic adults in some way or the other. One is going to do house chores, other is just going to keep praising the mother or the father, whosoever the adult is, or they're constantly going to do everything they ask them to do, or even if it's wrong, Even if it's wrong, they would be like, they would be a party to it. They would be one of the team members for them, you know. It's like creating your own group. They'll be gang members. The other one, even though they are not gang members, but they will contribute either by giving certain type of energy, or they would be just good to keep around, you know, socially, because it proves that, oh, how nice the adults are. They're taking care of such children who are actually quite the black sheep of the family, who are the villains of the family or the vamps of the family, who don't do anything for anyone, who are so selfish, which is the other way around. These people who are being labeled as the vamps and the villains, they are actually the saintly beings or the angelic beings or the loving beings, but their image gets tarnished because of the narcissistic adult. Because the narcissistic adult wants to take credit for everything, even the money they earn or even the things they've done for the family, then the narcissistic adult will not give them as much credit. But to the unable child, they will give them a lot of credit, even if they've not done much. That makes them also kind of be loyal towards the narcissistic adult, because they like it. Because when they go out, when they step out in the world, they don't get all these praises. On the contrary, other people tell them by their actions or by the way they behave with them, or sometimes even in a fight, they would say, you are no good, you don't have talent, you don't have skills, you don't have confidence, you don't have anything. Like, they'll make them feel that in reality they are not that great. But in the household, they have been told that how great they are constantly. Okay. So now there is a new trend on Instagram, you know, which is a crazy trend, I feel. Instagram and Facebook, there are all these people are, I think, quite typical narcissistic people. I mean, I'm not judging people if you have social media. We all have social media. In fact, we connect on social media. So there are positive aspects and there are negative aspects, and that's the reason why we ask you to form a balance. You know, when there is a balance, you use technology. You learn how to use technology for your research, for your progress, for your money making, for all the things that are good. But if you start using it as a source of, you know, massaging your ego, or as a source of feeling, always feeling puffed up and always feeling that you are so superior than other people, and always being so selfish, you know, constantly all you want to do is show people how great your life is, even though your life is very hollow within. So nevertheless, there is a new trend. So what parents are doing these days is, the moment a child is born, they'll create an Instagram account or a Facebook account for that child. You know, like, the child is just born, you know, imagine what the hell do they know about Instagram and Facebook? But they already have an account with their name on it. Okay. And the mother or the father, whosoever is the manager of this child, they are going to manage the pictures and the videos, and they're going to put the perfect videos, the perfect photos of the children. Otherwise, they may not even pay so much attention to the child, but because they have to click the photos of the child, or they have to flaunt, you know, how beautiful my child is, how well dressed my child is, how classy we live. You know, look at the way I send my child to the best school, I send my child to the best tutors or the best whatever, everything, the best toys. You think about anything that's related to the child, which is related to ego massaging of the parent or the adult who is taking care of them. So they're going to show it off. They're going to show off their child, how cute my child is. And sometimes they neglect the child's actual needs in doing so, because they're constantly giving the child to practice some dialogues or rehearse some lines, and or they're forcing the child to always be dressed in a certain way, or it's all about that Instagram and it's all about the Facebook. It's not about the child, So this is not good for the child. Even when the child is such a small child, the child develops this habit of getting attention. Too much attention is a disease. It will create a mental disorder. They will turn into total narcissistic kids, and then they will do the same when they grow up. So such children are constantly going to be about clothing, about how do I look, about how's my hairstyle, how's the band on my hair, how's the bow on my hair, how's this. They'll never really be a child playing in the mud, going out, playing in the grass, getting your clothes dirty, doing different activities, you know, all of that. So when we were kids, I remember, you know, my father used to be very happy if I would make a mess of things. Like my mother has told me this episode that I used to take a scissor. I was just 2 years old, okay. I used to take a scissor and I used to cut the pillows in my house. I probably really enjoyed it. Now everybody else in the house, all the other adults would go like mad upset, like, oh my god, she has cut the pillow, and look at this, she has, you know, given us a loss. Now we need to go to the market, we need to get the new pillows. But when my father would come home and see that, or you know, when my other adults, my mother would complain that look what your daughter did today, you know what he said? He said that it's really amazing that a 2-year-old can, you know, hold the scissor with so much precision and cut so many pillows. I think it's a talent. It's not wrong. Let her cut as many pillows as she likes. It's all right. We can buy new pillows. So he had this, because he was an empath, so he had this completely different perspective. You know, if I would paint something on the walls and somebody would say, oh look, what have you done, you have dirtied the wall, he would actually look at the all the artwork. He would actually call it artwork, and he would say, oh, it's wonderful that she has painted such a nice whatever drawing it is at such a young age, you know, it's really nice. You know, so this is completely, so that person is allowing you to be a child, that person is allowing you to make a mess, that person is allowing you to, but at the same time then you need a disciplinary figure who is going to tell you that okay, you can make a mess, but you also need to be responsible enough, and you need to keep yourself clean. You know, these are little small things that you teach the child in childhood, so that the child becomes very independent. They should know, you know, like if they make a mess of all the toys, they should also know how to arrange them. Let it be like a game for them. Anyway, so the mass narcissism, you understand all of this now. The mass narcissism is a big problem right now, and you need to understand that narcissism, simply in simple words, is extreme level of selfishness. Those people who are extremely selfish are always going to be unhappy, no matter which psychologist you go to, which psychiatrist you go to, which spiritualist you go to, because I personally feel that modern medicine does not have cure for all these diseases. They even mention it. A lot of psychologists have said it, that there is no real cure for NPD. Sometimes because they want to cure NPD, and the person, you know, like especially the covert narcissist, they look like a person who's suffering from depression. They are not actually depressed, but what the doctors would do, they would give them pills to cure depression, or they would give them pills to cure anxiety, and that will make it even worse. That will make it even worse, because all these chemicals have some effect on your mind, you know, have a huge impact on your mind, and then after 6 months or 8 months, the person is still the same or gotten even worse. So that's the reason why I always say that spiritual practices are very beneficial. They can actually heal and cure all types of these disorders, mental disorders. But medicines, sorry to say, not all medicines can. Maybe some medicines can, but with medicines you also need a healthy lifestyle. You need a healthy diet. You need a holistic diet. You know, you need mental diet. Other than anything else, you need mental diet. For narcissistic people, the mental diet is absent, because it's all about them. It's all about what they wear. It's all about how they look. It's all about how people perceive them. And in order to build it up, they are constantly going to make the efforts. Okay. So as a twin flamer, you are slightly different. Actually, you are completely different, not slightly different. You are completely different than a narcissistic person. You are literally opposite of that person. But if you are wounded and if you are unhealed, then even you won't be able to contribute in this world, because you won't be at your best. So as time passes by, in the age of ascension, we will notice, with the effort of everyone, we will notice that this narcissism is going to go down. People are going to realize with time, at least some people, a strong bunch of people will. Because these are the people who are going to create changes in the future. These are the people who are going to bring in awareness. These are the people who are going to selflessly work for the planet. All those feminines and masculines who live a balanced life, they know that I need to take care of myself. That means I'm independent. Okay, so I am independent. I need to take care of myself. And only when I can take care of myself, I can take care of other people. As simple as that. So thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.